Had a good time on Sunday. Here's first little video I'm going to send you of Kyle. I've got all the team that I worked with broken down to some degree. Let it run through here once or twice. There's a lot of common things going on here that we can hopefully address from looking at just one or two of the kids, and hopefully get them all doing some of the same things. The biggest thing we talked about right away with everybody is in their set position. They're a little too erect. As you can see here, he's really straight up and down. If we could get his knees right there to come down a little bit. And it's good to offset their feet just a tad. If he brings his left foot just a little bit forward of his right foot, that'll help balance him out a little bit more there too. Balance is really important. Notice as he kicks, his first motion is towards second base in reality. And that's one of the first things we want to try to work on, is to get from this set position that he can kick and keep everything moving forward that way as he kicks, as opposed to moving away. So as you see, he's at the top of his leg kick there, and he hasn't really come forward any at all. He's stayed perfectly straight up and down. If we can get his hips to come forward just a bit, that'll help that out a ton. He does travel forward, as you can see here, but not until he's on the way down. That's a little too late. It's putting a lot more work and strain on him. So right here we get to what we call foot strike. Foot strike is when his plant foot lands his left foot right here. At foot strike, we want to maintain as much of opposite and equal, or our hip and shoulder separation, as possible. So as you can see, as he gets into foot strike, he wants to pull that left elbow and left shoulder open way too early. So from foot strike, the first thing that's going to happen is going to happen through the hips. His hips are going to rotate that way. Next is going to be his shoulders are going to rotate, and then the elbow is going to rotate and come through, and last the hand should rotate and come through. As you bring him to here, you can see his hips and elbow are turning exactly at, his shoulders and his elbow are working there exactly at the same time. So he's losing a lot of potential velocity and a lot of consistency through what's going on here. He looks really good at this point right here. As you can see with his drag foot, he's got a real nice drag going on, and he's nicely balanced there. The more we can get him to break down and use each of the segments, starting with the hips and then the shoulders, then the elbow, then the hand, the better off he'll be there. Lastly, right here, he's one of the better ones as far as what I'm going to talk about here, and he is a little bit more level across his head there. Let me make that a little higher. He's much more level across here than many of the other kids, but it still kind of drops down just a tad, but he's not in too bad a shape right here. Again, the greatest things that we want to try to do with this kid is to get him from right here, get him moving up. Another good example or a way of looking at it is if I put this line on him right here. When he kicks, he should start passing that line. Notice he's not going to pass that line until after he's on the way down. And that's just going to be a little bit too late for us. This will help him a ton. Now we've got some drills we can do if we work from rocker position. What we call rocker position is just working from foot strike, where they've got their arms up in opposite and equal. Kyle's opposite and equal isn't very opposite, or it isn't very equal. He's got his glove hand still in here. We would be in much better shape if we could get that glove hand to be out here a little bit more, going towards his target. That's going to help to get him in a line more towards his target and give him a little bit more on his throw. His release is not exactly what we want, because you can see he's releasing it here up over his knee. It's kind of coming out right in between those two spots right there. If release point typically comes about 6 to 8 inches in front of the plant foot, but we've got some good basic ideas to work with here. Again, the key, getting forward as soon as you can. Another way of saying it is from the time he lifts his foot to the time he gets the ball out should happen in less than 2 seconds. So if you just said from the moment he kicks his foot, if you just counted 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, you'll see, you'll get an idea from his feel. So from here, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. So he's about 2.5 seconds roughly before he gets the ball out, which is, again, making him work a little harder than he needs to be, and going to make it very easy to run on him if he's got a runner on base. Anyway, I'm going to break these other kids down as we go, and I'll send them to you each one at a time.